Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Bad Guitars podcast. My name is Andrew.
And my name is Guy.
And this is our 17th episode. And it's also our end of the year.
Yep.
We're gonna call this like our not top pedals of 2024, but like our favorite, I would say.
I already told you this, and I want to clarify because obviously I told Andrew, but I didn't tell anyone. I don't have a specific order.
Yeah.
I just know which one is my number 10 and which one is my number 1. But I don't.
You don't care about anything in between.
No, I don't have an order in between. I just have a number 10 and a number 1.
Okay.
And I'm gonna explain the reason why. But go ahead, just start with yours.
Okay, so this is gonna be interesting because, well, we didn't discuss. Well, you just said you don't have yours in order, but like...
I don't have mine in order.
We didn't really discuss in advance, so we don't know. I kind of know what's on her list.
You've been looking at my list.
But like, I don't know if you've changed... Since we wrote this down the other day, I don't know if you've changed yours at all. I changed a couple things on mine.
I haven't.
And then I do want to just point out real quick, too. I want to apologize for anybody watching or listening. We've been sick the last few days. So our voices might be a little off.
Oh, no, mine is perfect.
Yours is perfect? I don't know.
Don't you listen to?
I don't know. I think I sound kind of congested through the headphones, but hopefully...
You kind of do.
Hopefully you can't tell at home.
Let me ask the nanny.
The nanny. Yeah, we're trying to find some kind of childcare for some crossover while I'm at work before I get home and while she's working from home. So we're trying to figure out some kind of nanny situation, but
now it's you trying to explain the situation.
We've got several people that we've trying to that have reached out wanting this position. It's not like we're not paying like a full-time nanny. We can't afford that.
No, it's like
it's literally like 6 hours a week.
Yeah,
and if that. And this lady reached out and she's like, "Oh, I'm really excited about this." Like, she was like, "I was a dentist in Mexico, but I've been living here for the last couple of years, and can't get the same kind of job opportunities here in the small town that we moved to last year." So
of course.
So I'm like, you know what? I think you've
but she's just talking to him.
Yeah, so I was like, I think you've met the qualifications for what we're looking for. I mean,
yeah.
But let me pass you on to my wife. Like, here's her phone number. Like, reach out. And this lady doesn't identify who she is. She just sends Kat a text that says, I've been talking to your husband on Facebook. It's like, what? Like,
he had told me before that the potential nanny was going to text me.
Yeah, I told you. I was like, this lady's gonna reach out. I don't know.
But the first thing I got was, I've been talking to your husband.
That's so weird. That's so creepy. I was like,
oh.
Now,
okay.
We're way off subject already, but like at least 80% of these people that reached out, they're scary people. They're I don't know.
What's scary about them?
I wouldn't hire them. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
Fine.
Anyway.
Find them.
So
they probably get scared about us too.
Probably.
All you talk is about bills.
Yeah, well, yeah. That should be like on the application form, like, what is your favorite pedal?
I'm no surprise. Anyway, we get back to the list.
Are you going first with your number 10?
Wait. I told you this.
Yeah.
You keep looking at my list. What's your problem?
I'm looking at my list. I'm not looking at your list.
Yes, you are looking at my list.
I'm looking at my list.
Anyway.
I'm looking down at mine.
Just to give some introduction to my list. I think Andrew was really surprised because, first of all, he said, we're going to make a list of 5. And I was like, oh, okay. And he started asking me, like attacking me.
He's like,
you're like, what's your list? What's going to be on your list? Like writing on a piece of paper. And
I wanted to be prepared for the episode.
Oh,
that's all it was.
I think it caught you by surprise that I actually knew the name of pedal builders.
No.
I don't think you were expecting that.
I wasn't surprised by that. I was surprised by you had like really good choices. Because like some of these episodes that we've done, you've been like, "That's a pretty pedal." In the first like 2 or 3 episodes.
But I'm not that stupid.
No, in the first 2 or 3 episodes, when you didn't know a single thing about pedals.
But hold on,
you're like, "Oh, that one looks good."
Oh, you don't know a single thing.
No, you do.
I never putting attention.
No, that's how this started out. That's how this podcast started out. Was you didn't know, and this was your idea.
It was my idea.
You said, let's do this podcast because I don't know anything about pedals and I'll learn about them.
I don't know much.
And here we are, 17 episodes in, and you know something. You know more than the beginner. The basic beginner just starting out about pedals.
I feel I should be offended, but whatever.
I'm complimenting you, and you're like, oh,
I put attention
you know this stuff.
I put attention to the components. I put attention to the inside of the pedal.
And that's good.
It's just that when we're here talking, you know more than I do, so I just let you talk. But I do know things about pedals more than just, oh, it looks pretty. Like I do actually look inside. I read about it. I know how they sound. Crispy, buttery. I know all those creamy. I put attention. Anyway, how are we gonna go? Like 10-10 or
one of us will do our number 10, the other one will do theirs, and then we'll just go one number at a time. I will say too before we jump right into this, because we will jump right into this. We tried not to have any overlap. So there are some things on her list that I would have liked to have on mine, but she picked them first. So I was like, you know what? That's a good list. We do have, I think, one thing that overlapped, but it was different versions. It was different versions of the same pedal, and we'll get to that.
Come on.
We will get to that. Don't say what it is.
You knew my list
We'll get to that. Okay. You want to do your number 10?
Sure.
Okay.
So, as I say, I have a number 10 and a number 1.
Yeah.
Now, the number 10, the reason I chose it is because it's just a popular thing that it came out on every single thing, not just a pedal, not just a guitar. It came out on shoes, on clothes, all single kind of apparel. This year, that was the it thing.
Yeah.
So I thought it was worth to mention the Hello Kitty Fuzz by Fender.
Okay.
Again, it's not about the sound. This is fully based on it was just popular, and a lot of people got it because it was Hello Kitty and it was on everything.
And it sold out like immediately.
Kids' lunch boxes. It was on tennis shoes. I even wanted the tennis shoes.
I mean, you can't get away from Hello Kitty. I'm surprised that all these years later, it's more popular probably than it ever was.
True. Yeah. I don't play guitar, and I wanted the guitar because it was Hello Kitty.
Oh, we tried to get the guitar.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. It was gone.
I thought, hey,
yeah,
it doesn't sound good because I listened to it. It doesn't. But
What's
you know
that, the
what?
fuzz?
Yeah, it doesn't really sound good.
You know, it's funny because after this came out, everyone bought it, and people initially said, "Is it just the Hammertone series fuzz?" But rebranded, and it doesn't have the flip switch. It has like the Hello Kitty logo where the flip switch was. And some people cracked it open, and they're saying that is the case. I don't know for sure. I didn't watch a whole lot of in-depth stuff on it. When it first was announced, I watched the demo video by Fender, but it wasn't actually a demo video. It was a girl sitting in a room, dancing around with Hello Kitty. And there was guitar playing, but it was like, was the fuzz being used on that guitar track, or was that just for illustrative purposes of the advertisement? So I watched a couple people's demos of it. I don't know. It's just a fuzz. I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
I don't. With the number 10, and that's why it's so far on my list, because I know based on sound, I know based on pedal
just
maker,
the popularity of it.
It's just the popularity of, hey, this was Hello Kitty. That's my number 10.
Okay.
What's your number 10? Do you have an order?
I didn't really put mine in order.
Oh,
I meant to right before this, and I didn't. All right, my number 10. Now, it's going to take me a second to bring these things up on the screen because I brought both of our lists up here.
Oh, Jesus Christ. There's going to be like 20 things there, though.
Not 20 things. Okay. Yes, my number 10.
Okay, here we go.
Was the Earthquaker Devices Silos Multi-Generational Time Reflection Delay Pedal. Now, this thing was $149. Still is. That's full price. That's not discounted or anything. $150 for a delay from Earthquaker Devices. Like, this is really cool. No, I think it's great.
Oh, okay.
Now, my only complaint about this, why it's not higher up on the list, is it has the last few pedals they've been putting out for the last couple of years, they've been putting a knob on there that's presets that you can save. I personally have no use for presets on a pedal. If I was playing shows and I had like various, significantly different sounds that I was using out of the same pedal, the presets would come in handy. But usually with my delays, I have 2 delays on my pedal board usually, and one is set to like a longer time, one's set to a shorter time, or like one is like a specific sound, like a reverse. Whereas one is like more of like a standard, like shorter, more than a slapback with some like feedback on it. So the preset mode is of no use to me, but I do like the different algorithms they have in this thing for the delays, like the oil can sound that they have on there.
Yeah.
Sounds really good. I think that's an amazing sounding pedal. And for $150, I think that's really good. And it has tap tempo in it as well. Usually with Earthquaker pedals in this small format, you don't usually see that. 2 foot switches. All right. So that was my number 10.
Okay.
Like I said, it wasn't higher on the list just because like the preset knob could have been something else. I understand why they do presets. I understand totally why that's the design process with what they've been doing in their pedals. They've even updated other older pedals.
Okay.
With a newer version that have like the spatial delivery. They reissued that with preset knob. But again, that's a feature I would not use on that pedal. But I think the pedal itself is really cool.
Huh.
And it looks cool too.
It does look cool.
Going back to what you were saying about like the Hello Kitty thing, like this thing looks cool.
I mean, I think the design does deserve some kind of,
Yeah.
Here's what you're paying for. It's not just the sound, it's the design.
Yeah.
Now, I do think the number one should, like our number ones should meet all those requirements.
Looks good, sounds good.
It looks good, it sounds good, it looks clean on the inside.
Relatively, like the price makes sense for what it is. Yeah.
That's why it's a number one. That's why I say I have a number one.
You know what I think is funny about this one as well?
Why?
Another thing that I considered for my list, it's not on my list, but the MXR layers came out like a week after the silos, and it looks very similar.
It kind of does.
Like the aesthetic they put on there is kind of similar.
Okay.
Are you ready for your number 9?
I really quick put numbers next to it.
So I should probably do that real quick.
So
too.
I don't forget.
While you talk about yours.
The reason why I did it is so I keep track on my mind. But again, I'm gonna clarify this over and over again. There's not an order on mine.
Okay.
This is just about the number 10 and the number 1. Okay. Now that would be number 9.
Yeah.
Right?
That's your 9.
Okay. So for my number 9, I chose the octave. No.
Not the Octaside, but the octave from B's Music Shop. Their special edition version. Where is it? I know I brought that up somewhere on the.
Well, you should show it.
I mean, we'll definitely show it on the screen when people are watching it.
Hope
for those
so,
that
for
are
people who's watching,
for those on the audio version.
Well, for the audio version, I want to talk about the octave.
Where is it? Oh, it's the very first tab.
Yes.
So it is the Keeley Octasai.
Yeah.
But it is red. And for B's Music Shop, all their stuff is red.
Yeah,
not red. Sorry, not red. Sorry, cats.
So something that I want to like. One, I like the collab.
Yeah.
Okay. 2, as I was talking about it, I feel the design is really nice. It goes with the collab. Again, it's a cat.
Yeah.
So it's like who and who are making something.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, we went over the sound and we went over what this pedal made, and I like it.
Yeah, I mean, I've got this pedal on my board, and I was never much for like pitch shifters in octave pedals, but no, I don't have the octave. I have the Octasai on my board. Sorry to clarify. Now octave and pitch pedals, like that's never been a huge deal to me. I've had a couple over the years, usually like lower end ones that don't track nearly as well as this pedal does. I bought it mostly because I was like, ooh, it's got a big muff in it. It's a large enclosure. It's almost like an actual big muff, but you have an extra feature in it.
On the
yeah. But overall, I actually find myself using the pitch shifter octave modes a lot. With chords, little solos and stuff. Like I just think it sounds great.
I think it sounds really good.
Now, this comes with... No, it doesn't come with. Sorry. I am misspeaking.
Don't go selling the two things.
No. So Keeley makes a separate foot switch that you can use to control like the octave and fuzz. So if your pedal is in a spot on your board, for example, where it's not easy to reach those foot switches, you can have the remote switch closer to where really you can actually, you know, if the pedal's on the back row, you want the foot switch on the front row. Gives you that option. So it has matching artwork. Where
I was gonna say that maybe pedal builders are gonna be again this one with the artwork, but it match. You know, one is a cat, one is a mouse.
Well, it's not just a cat; it's a cat with octopus tentacles.
I know.
And then on the foot on the remote switch,
it has the end of the tentacles.
It's holding a mouse in the tentacles, and the mouse is holding a needle.
Tentacles.
Yeah.
Yeah. Makes sense.
It's really cool. Now I did see something. It was the God, I watched it this morning.
Why?
The Emily Hopkins award show, the Emmas.
Oh, you talked to me about that.
It's her pedal award show.
Yeah.
And she actually talked about this exact pedal. And in this, like Brian from B's Music Shop, he actually talked about how the same tattoo artist does all of their special edition cat art.
Really?
For like most of their pedals.
Nice.
Yes. You know, we didn't put on this list.
Why?
Just honorable mention here too. So we didn't put it on our list, but the cat pedal, the meowulator.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. But I just think that wouldn't make sense.
No, it's not. I don't see it as being musical. It's a gimmick, but it's a funny pedal. But
yeah, it's a funny pedal.
But
okay,
you know,
that was my number 9.
That was your number 9.
Yeah.
Okay, so I didn't finish rearranging mine.
Okay.
But my number 9 is going to be, and I probably should have put this higher up, but I'm going to put it as my number 9.
What is it?
The Yesterday Effects Pitch Bender.
Okay.
And as soon as I can find it on our screen. Now, Yesterday Effects is one of only 2 pedal builders I know of in Arizona that are like well known.
Okay.
So I believe they're located in Tempe.
Huh. Okay.
So the Pitch Bender. Now, okay, for one thing, all of Yesterday Effects, all of their pedals look like they look unreal. I mean, they're 100% real, but like the aesthetic of them, there are no labels of any kind. You just have these pointer knobs, your foot switch, the LED, and then these like nice matte, like almost pastel. Not even pastel. I mean, they do have really pastel colors on some of them, but the coloration on these pedals, like they're just so soft and like it almost looks like vintage furniture or something. Which one?
Go to the bottom. All together reverb.
That looks really sweet.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Color. They got the 8-bit fuzz.
Wow.
They do a clone of the Boss Slow Gear. But yeah, they don't label anything. Like the knobs are not labeled.
Okay.
They have really cool selection of knobs on this. But the Pitch Bender, $150. It's a 2-knob vibrato. And it's based off of the pitch vibrato in Magnatone amps back in the day, which were the first amps to have like true pitch vibrato. Like whereas Fender labeled all their amps as vibrato, was actually tremolo. So this actually is a real pitch vibrato, and it's a really amazing sounding pedal. I don't know, I just think it sounds great. Vibrato is my favorite effect. It always has been.
Okay.
But yeah, $150 for this. Like I said, small builder.
That's cheap though.
Here are the controls. So intensity and rate, on and off. You know, you get your input and output. They're top mounted jacks, 9-volt DC. That's my number 9. And like I said, if I had one on hand to mess around with, I'm sure that'd be like closer to the top of my list. But this is one that I've only heard. I do not have. So I think that's a disclaimer that we should have said at the beginning.
Yeah.
These are not all just pedals that we've played or own. It's just ones that really fascinated us this year.
Yeah. Like we had talked about, we have seen it. Yeah. We've watched demos.
I believe this one came out in September. And I believe when did the Octoside come out? October?
Don't remember.
I want to say October, but I could be wrong.
I don't want to say a day because I might be wrong.
Yeah. So I thought this one was really cool. All right. I'll close that tab out.
Let me go to my number 8.
Yeah, what's your 8?
I had the Flexi Loops.
Now, I was surprised you put this one on there, but you made a good point with it. Because we did talk about this one.
But okay.
I didn't know where you were going to put this. I thought this was going to be like your number 10.
No. The number 10 is absolutely out of design. Now, you argue with me on this choice. I'm gonna argue that
I didn't really argue. I was questioning it.
Because you say that's not really a pedal because
Well,
it doesn't
it is
offer an effect.
Technically, it is a pedal.
That's what I say. Technically, that is a pedal. I believe that every single thing that you put on your pedal board, as long as it's giving you a service and as long as it's helping other sounds or passing sounds through, then that's a pedal. Now, these does have a really nice dual mode and stuff that I really like. So you have that loop switcher that I like.
Yeah.
Because that's gonna allow to easily, remove all the effects from the signal. Yeah. And then I really like it though.
And it's simple enough.
It is.
That
it's really simple.
You don't need to program anything if you just have in mind like two loops set up. And I think you can have them both on at the same time. Loop 1, loop 2. Yeah, it looks like you can have both. So it is a very, functional piece of equipment really for
functional.
Sure. Yeah.
And looking at the screen, right? Look at the example. Yeah. You can have on one side your false, your overdrive distortion, and your analog, and on the other side you can have the reverb, delay, and modulation.
Yeah.
Turn one, turn off the other one, have both on, have both off.
Yeah.
It works great. I think it gives a nice service to society, or at least to pedal people. And I think it's a good brand.
Yeah, it's Earthquaker. And this is part of a whole thing. We talked about this the week that they put these out. Yeah. They have other things on it. I don't remember what they are. There's like an AB box. There's a buffer.
It's like a series, isn't it?
I think there might also be like a splitter or something. Passive ABY box.
Yeah.
The flexi loops.
And it's cheap, for pedals, $129 is really cheap.
I think the only other version of something like that they put out is the Swiss Things, which is $300. But that has your loop 1, your loop 2. You have a bunch of different stuff. You have a boost built into that. You have an AB box built into that. You have all of those different tools all in one for the most part. So this new series kind of splits this thing up into different components.
I don't know. I just like simple things. Yeah. Turn it on, turn it off, put it together. That's it.
So that was your number 8?
Yeah, that's 8? My number 8. Yeah, I think it's my number 8. So
we did Octopus. We did
Flexi Loops. Hello Kitty, the Flexi Loops. Right,
so I did the Silos.
Okay.
I did Yesterday Effects. Ooh, it's getting tough to narrow this down at this point.
Okay, go ahead.
All right.
What's your number 8?
I originally had put...
Here we go again.
I originally had put the JHS Violet on this list.
And now what?
I replaced it with the Flight Delay.
Oh, okay.
Because ultimately, when I got the Violet, I really liked it initially.
I remember
I messed around with it on a bunch of different amps with all my different guitars. I found some good settings that I really liked.
Yeah. But
for me, I think ultimately it had more features than I needed for what I do. And with that many features, it kind of can become paralyzing, where you're trying to dial in a sound and you're there for an hour just adjusting the knobs, trying to figure out what the right sound is for something. I really think the mid controls on that, the pre-gain mid controls, are what sets that pedal apart from anything else.
But hold on, Andrew, because you're naming 2 on your number 8.
I'm saying I'm not including this. I'm just giving it a shout out because I did buy this pedal, and ultimately it is no longer, on my board. We don't have it around anymore.
Okay, so now it's a flight delay.
Delay, yeah.
Okay.
So it's funny because I almost bought the flight delay instead of
the Violet.
But it takes up more space on a board.
Okay.
But the flight delay has all the features that I like in a delay.
Okay.
Now I have the Keeley Caverns, which we've talked about many times on this. Prior to that, I've used stuff like the Memory Man, the Memory Boy. I really like a good modulated delay. I really like that.
Okay.
So the flight delay gives you 3 different tap division modes. Your quarter note, your eighth note, your dotted eighth note, which is pretty standard. I even have that on the Walrus Fundamental delay. We have those 3 modes on there. But you have analog, reverse, and digital, which are also found on the Walrus Fundamental, which is only $99. Well, actually, they just dropped that whole series, the Fundamental series, this week. All of them are now $99.
Oh, nice.
So all the reverbs and delays and stuff, all the gain pedals were $99. All the other ones were like $129, I think. So they're all $99 now, moving forward. But what sets this apart from pedals like that is you have an EQ knob, like a master EQ for the pedal.
Okay.
And then you have the ability to turn off the modulation, and you could choose if the modulation is chorus or vibrato. So you have two controls for that as well, where they're modulation rate and depth. So the fact that it's just not like an always on thing, but you also have the versatility of like which type of modulation is it going to be, chorus or vibrato.
Okay.
It's $250. Like? It's $250.
That's not
I
bad.
know you criticized this pedal when it first came out, which I'll agree with you. It's kind of plain as far as aesthetic.
It is.
Which is why it is not higher up on the list for me. I did see some people were swapping out the knobs with some different colored knobs and stuff. That looks really cool.
You know, I don't know. It's like the color box, though.
Yeah. Well, that's what I saw somebody do. They did like color box style knobs.
Yeah. No, I have seen that. You see, I do put attention to shit.
Okay, so our recording stopped in the middle of talking about that pedal. That was weird.
When I was saying that I do know about things.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So yeah, the flight delay, I think that's just a really cool overall pedal. Yeah, I don't have much to say about it.
Okay, go to the next one.
Okay, so that was my number 8, correct?
I think so. Okay.
So what's your next one?
Let me see, what did I put on the number 7?
Yeah.
Okay, on the number 7, wait. Did I already name that one?
Which one?
The Tuna Fuzz?
Oh, you did not. No, you have it written up there, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Beatronics Tuna Fuzz. That's a good one.
Now, okay. Here, he lost the mouse.
I lost the mouse.
Jesus Christ, he lost the mouse.
Keep talking about it.
Okay, so here's a couple of things that I like about it. So people who have watches, oh my gosh, he was on his head. Jesus Christ.
Oh man, you hear that sound?
Jeez.
Sorry about that.
Okay.
I could hear the chair shaking.
There's a couple of things that I like about it. One, the idea and the creativity behind it. Oh my gosh. I'm always looking for original shit on the pedal war because I'm always based on that. The Tuna Fuzz, like, dude, that's a kind of fucking tuna.
Yeah.
Like, that right there, that earned a place in my heart.
Yeah.
It looks like a tuna.
And the story behind it too. Like, this is how he
is how
he started off back in Brazil. He would teach people how to build pedals, and they would use these as enclosures.
The creativity behind it.
Yeah.
The fact that you can actually use it without falling apart.
Yeah.
You know, and it's a fuzz. It's just a fuzz pedal.
A simple one knob fuzz. Good. Yeah.
It's simple. It's creative.
Yeah.
I think it's perfect.
And I just noticed too, the one that we're looking at right now it's a Sweetwater exclusive only. That's blue.
And it's $99.99.
Oh, also they're circuit boards.
Oh,
they're always really decorative.
Beautiful.
I mean, we talked about this when this came out, but
you know, it's clean inside. It's creative. You don't see that a lot. It sounds good.
Yeah,
it's simple.
And
you got it.
Even though it's a functional fuzz, I do think this is more of like a collector's item.
I would love to have one.
Like, I don't know the durability of long-term use for something like this, but it'd be cool to have. And they even did that like Christmas one where it came with like a string to hang it on your tree.
Yep.
But $99, dude.
It's so cheap. Though.
I love that all these brands that do high-end stuff are doing budget lines, because there are people that want to experience what it's like to use that brand's products and can't afford a $250, $350 pedal. It's understandable. I mean, it's very rarely that we will spend money on something that expensive.
Yeah. But anyway, that was my number 7, I say.
Okay. I need to figure out what my 7 is.
Oh, Jesus Christ. What's your number 7?
It's getting kind of tough because I have a few pedals by the same manufacturer.
Oh,
and I'd like to split them up a little bit. So I have a couple that are like tied with each other. Oh,
my life.
Your light fall down?
I'm like dying here. Okay.
Oh. All right. I'm just going to go for it.
Just say it.
Because this is 7, right?
I think so.
Okay. I haven't tried this pedal yet. Otherwise, it would probably be a lot higher on my list. And I said this before about another one, but the Keeley Zoma. So the Zoma is part of their, I guess you could call it part of their core series, because it started with the Halo core, which was a simplified, stripped down version of the Andy Timmons Halo pedal. So the Zoma is in the same kind of enclosure, same size as enclosure, I believe, as the Octosi.
Okay.
It's these ones that they're making in-house now versus the ones that they, have always had manufactured and shipped to them. It's $229. It looks like you can still get the custom shop option. So it comes in a standard silver. With the custom shop black, I think that looks really cool.
That looks really nice.
Okay. So the Zoma, it's a reverb and tremolo. So their Hydra pedal is the more complex version of this. So this is like the core version where you just get like the basic stripped down, setup on it. You have 3 different preset modes, which are just different algorithms that pair a certain reverb with a certain tremolo. You can't swap them around or anything. You have those 3 modes.
Okay.
Just like the other pedals in this series and the Octosi and everything, you do have the multifunctionality of the knobs where you can press down on certain knobs and turn them and you get different parameters out of them, which I thought was going to be more complex than it is. With the Octosi, it's really easy. Like I thought it was going to be more complex with all these hidden features and stuff.
Okay.
It works just fine. I do foresee this as being the next pedal that I would buy.
Ha! Oh wow!
Obviously not in 2024, but
okay.
I could see this as being the next pedal I would buy.
Okay.
So that would be my number. What were we on, 7?
Dude, I don't even know. You have the list.
I'm crossing mine off
every time I want to look at the list, I have to ask you for the list.
All right, you are on your number 6.
Number 6, I have. Okay. I know about this pedal because you were almost begging on that episode to get the older pedal on that series. There were 3. Basically, the one that I liked the most was the Keeley Sons.
Keeley Sons?
Yes.
Okay.
Because which one was the one that you got?
The super.bass, which I did a video on. If you haven't seen the video yet, you guys should check it out. It is currently, as of the time of us recording this, it is the only demo anywhere on the internet for this pedal. Yes.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know why there's no other video of any of these 3 pedals.
Why?
I don't know.
They are cheap. They are good.
I think what it is they're Sweetwater exclusives. So it's a crossover between Keeley, Sweetwater, and they're $99. So it's like who are they sending this to? I don't know if they've sent it to any of the guitar influencers yet to do demos. They might not because they're just so affordable.
They are. I think they are cheap. Again, it's a Keeley Sons Ultra Boy False pedal.
Yeah.
I like it. It's just cheap. It's simple. I like the way it sounds.
And it's a big muff.
It's
a big muff.
I like it.
No, the only places that you can really hear what these pedals sound like are pretty much if you go into the Keeley Soundcheck Facebook group, where myself and other people, that's where we post about these things. Sometimes it's the only place you can find clips of people playing these. So the Sons, what's interesting about that?
Okay.
And I learned this from Robert Keeley directly while talking back and forth in that group. In the group. Because when I got the super.bass, I said I wasn't sure if I was going to get that one or if I was going to get the Sons or even the soft.
The other one,
Reverb. Yeah. I was really torn between it, but I was worried that getting the Sons would be too similar to the fuzz section of the Octosi.
Okay.
Because the Sons, it's a reimagining of their Moon, which is just it's a big muff. And so Robert Keeley said that the Sons, they took the Moon, they took the new mods that they put into the Octosi, and they applied that to the Moon, and that's how they got the Sons. So it would have been probably, a little redundant for me to have bought the Sons
Probably.
And also have the Octosi on my board. But I think the Suns itself is worth getting. I mean, it's $99. That's the same price, if not cheaper, than a regular Big Muff these days. So why not get a modified version that's a Keeley custom shop pedal for $99? Like, come on.
Anyway,
just do it.
What's yours?
We're on 6.
I think so.
All right.
As I say, I don't have a number. I'm just saying a number to keep track.
The Mythos Herculean Deluxe. I believe this came out in February.
I think. Here's what I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
I think you want it. A certain point, you're a bitch at a certain point. I say, that Herculean, what's the name? That Mythos, and you're like, oh no, that's not from this year. And I'm like, are you sure?
No.
I show you the website, and
that's
you're
not
like,
the one you were talking about, though. You were talking about the Envy.
No, hold on. I show you two. I show you this one, and I show you the Envy, and then you were like, I don't think this is from this year.
You showed me something else. You showed me something else.
Hold on. Sure. No, don't play it dumb here.
No, I think you showed me one of the Mjolnirs.
Going to figure it out.
Hold on.
That he put my option on his list.
Hold on. I thought you were showing me. I thought you were showing me one of the Mjolnir options. Which those aren't new. They did have the Black Friday one, which is new. But
I asked you, are you sure? And you're like, oh yeah, I'm sure. And now come to find out that the one that I was asking for, he put it on his list. Oh wow. Go ahead.
I thought it was the other one.
Oh, of course.
I really did.
Go ahead and talk about this one. No, go ahead.
No, it's okay.
You already stole it from me.
No, it's okay. You can have it, but you're just gonna have to erase something off yours.
No, go ahead and talk about it.
Herculean Deluxe.
Okay.
I don't even know what this is a crossover of. I know I watched this heavily when it first came out.
Of course you don't know about it, because that was my option.
The Herculean Deluxe combines updated versions of their Herculean and Runestone overdrives.
Okay.
Giving you a Dumble-style amp-like overdrive with a heavily tweaked classic blues breaker circuit. Both feature an assortment of internal adjustments and other order switchers. So there are dip switches on the inside of this. And they do offer recommended settings.
Yeah.
Which I would probably be somebody that would just like see what I like, set it, and forget that those switches are even there.
Probably.
Because you have to take the back off the pedal, do all that. I don't know. Anyway.
Okay.
I think it's just a really cool pedal, and like the blues breaker style circuits, those are like my favorite overdrives.
Okay.
I prefer those to something like a regular like tube screamer. But the fact that you can combine both,
I do like that.
Both the Dumble style, which is like a Dumble style drive pedals are usually just modified tube screamers for the most part. They have a little bit more of like a sparkle to them.
Yeah.
But then like a blues breaker style circuit, like I feel like you can't go wrong with that.
What I really like about Mythos pedals,
yeah.
They offer you those switches on the inside.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna give you unique sound. So not every single person that has the same pedal is gonna sound the same.
Yeah.
Because you already modify it for yourself.
Yeah.
But I think I like it.
Yeah. It gives you it's like having mods on the pedal.
Yeah. Anyway.
And the color is just really nice. The choice of knobs, the colors. They do have like the 3 mini knobs on there, which, it's cool. Whatever. I don't know. It just seems like a very functional pedal. And the price is $300. It's not a cheap pedal, but it's well made.
No, but it's well made. It looks good on the inside. It offers you double functionality, giving you the option to make it your own. That's good.
And these guys worked really hard on this thing. It took them a long time to develop this. So that was what was it, number 6? We'll call it number 6. We came unprepared for this. We were not feeling well.
You are not feeling well.
Hey, you've been feeling sick all week too. Our son has been struggling because he's got teeth coming in, so it's been a struggle.
Here's another one that I had to fight for it. Not because he wanted. Stop it right there.
Oh,
that's
this
mine.
One? This one?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you got to it before me.
Because you were trying to gaslight me.
Wow,
I want to say this.
Accuse me of these.
Do
you know
same
what
with Mythos.
Okay.
Same with the Mythos one. You were like, wait, no, that's not new. I wanted to talk about what was the one before this one?
The Fuzz War.
The fuzz war, and you
okay,
say
the Death by Audio Fuzz War, which is an old pedal that is not new.
Okay, but I know about that one.
Yeah.
And then I realized the new one was the bass
war.
The bass war.
Yeah.
And then you were like, isn't this a new one? Did that come out this year? When I have already find out that it was from this year.
No, I knew this one was this year. No, you were asking me about another pedal. You were asking about there was no. There was another pedal on their website that you asked me about. And I said no, that one I think came out last year or the year before.
Okay,
but the bass war, I confirmed with you, that is a brand new this year because we covered it on this show.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. So my number
so
five.
We're fighting over our top tens.
No, because I feel I've been, for someone who doesn't know, like he says, I think there were a couple of the pedals that he's talking about that were stolen from me.
I wouldn't say
when
stolen.
I was showing.
Now I feel like
what I wanted to select.
Okay, but as we get farther up this list, there's one that you definitely took from me that I was going to use.
No, I didn't. I
got to it before me, and I was like,
the bass war.
Yeah.
Now the reason why I was confused with the fuzz war is because they had the same art.
Yeah,
it's
the bass version of the Fuzz War.
Yeah.
And the only real difference between, like, I'm sure there are component changes to make it more compatible with bass, is the mix knob that gives you the ability to blend in your clean and dirty.
Yeah.
Which is a lot of bass drives and fuzzes and stuff. They have that feature. It's always good to have that.
Which is so loud right now.
Oh, it is. Yeah.
So
okay.
loud.
So a lot of pedal builders right now.
Okay.
They're kind of like winding down for the year, so they sold out like a lot of their stock, and then they're not going to reschedule, or they're not going to restock till after the holidays. I did see Mythos pedals because we were just talking about them.
Yeah,
they're clearing out their shop the rest of the year so they could restock their dealers. So if you want one of their pedals, you have to get it through a dealer right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
If you want the bass war, they are going to restock on December 27th.
Yep.
So.
And again, it does say if you need it right away, visit one of their dealers. So.
Anyway, I believe that was number 5.
Number 5.
What's yours?
We're getting down there on the list.
Yeah.
All right, what do I have left? Universal Audio Enigmatic.
Okay.
That's my number 5.
That's going to be your number 5? Okay.
Because, we've talked about this many times on the show.
We did.
That I have not.
It looks really cool, by the way.
I have not been able to find something that has converted me to a modeler or a fully digital setup.
We talk about that so much.
There's just, I keep getting on the fence about, like, ooh, maybe a Boss Katana. Oh, maybe a
whatever.
A GT 1000 or maybe a Quad Cortex. I can't do it. But the closest I've come, I think that has made me want to convert to an ampless rig is the Enigmatic. Which is funny because when they're whatever it's called, the Dream 65, the one that's like a Fender, it's a Fender Deluxe version of this pedal. When that came out, I was like, oh, that's really cool. But I'm not fully convinced by it. But even if I were to not use this pedal as a replacement for, like, an ampless setup, it sounds like an amazing overdrive. If nothing else, it is an amazing overdrive.
Okay.
Very versatile. But it's, their clone of a Dumble overdrive special. Now, most people have not played a Dumble. And every Dumble sounds completely different. But this thing just sounds really good. And I feel like this would be like the kind of perfect tool for doing like pedal demos and stuff where you might not want to use an amp and like have a mic set up and you just want something that simulates that. Any of these Universal Audio pedals would be great for that. A great platform for an ampless rig.
Okay.
So that's my number 5.
Now, when we're coming closer to the number 1 of our list, right?
We're getting there.
We're getting there. Now, as we're getting closer, I want to say that the next 4 pedals that I'm going to talk about, I think they are all amazing, just like the older that I talk about. But they deserve to be in that podium. Like, they deserve to be up that high because they are really good pedals.
Yeah.
So anyway, the number 4 for me is Olympus Cicada.
Yep. Yeah, Olympus Cicada. See, I got mad about that one because I had already finished my list, and then you mentioned that. I was like,
what are you talking about?
I should have got that one.
Well, you didn't share your list with me.
No, but I had already.
Not that I stole it.
I had just finished mine when you said that. I was like, I can't really work that one in.
But I wanted to talk about the Cicada.
Yeah.
Now, I came to know the Cicada because I can follow 60 Cycle Home on Instagram.
Yeah.
I do. I follow the guy on Instagram. I think he's hilarious.
He is.
Anyway.
Well, they are.
The
whole team over there.
And I even asked you about it because he posted this pedal board, like the mini pedal board. And I was like, what is this about? Like, is there this amount of like super small pedals? And then you told me he has someone that has like a printer.
It was a 3D printed Rocket Music Gear.
Okay.
Gave him a 3D printed setup of like mini pedals.
That looked
but
like
they were
so
just
fucking real.
3D printed, but this was the only real one he put on there.
I swear to God, I believe all of those mini pedals were real.
No.
But because they look real.
Yeah.
But then I came to find out after I figured out, obviously, that the Cicada was the real one. Now, it's $99.
Mm-hmm.
I think, one, it sounds really good. And two, who the fuck can make a pedal that small?
You do. So from what I understand, these guys came from working at Strymon. They worked at Strymon, I believe.
Dude, how do you put anything inside that?
And the fact that like there's no foot switch, it's like a pressure sensitive thing where you tap on it in the right spot and it'll turn on and off. Now, what I'm excited for, and this is $99. What I'm excited for is, what are they going to do next? Because this is something
going to be smaller than this.
This is something with just like a little piece of Velcro.
That is
you could attach this to your guitar and just like at a tap of your finger, like it's on and off. It's really cool.
But again, you see, like it meets my criteria. It's creative.
Yeah.
It's simple. It looks nice.
Yeah.
You know, it sounds great.
And that's the thing too. It is a Tube Screamer clone, but not all Tube Screamer clones sound good. Some sound like shit, and this one sounds really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really excited to see what they're going to do next year. They've got to come out with more than just this one pedal.
Yeah.
Like.
But anyway,
what's next?
What's your number 4?
Oh God.
Here we go again.
The Diamond Vibrato.
Okay, and we have 6 minutes for you to say why you love that one.
I forgot the setting. I have the camera set to now.
I was gonna say that. Why?
It only lets us record 26 minutes at a time.
I happen to notice.
That's the problem we had in the first few episodes. So I have to readjust that again. But I think our focus, our camera focus, should be perfect this time. The lighting we still need to fix. We're gonna get some more lights for the back, and then the key lighting we're gonna fix that too with the new year. But I think we're finally getting it dialed in where we want it. And it's taken this many weeks, this many months. But this is from coming as complete beginners that didn't even know how to use the camera.
But
so I think we're doing okay.
Okay. Anyway.
Right. So Diamond Vibrato, $279. They went out of business during the pandemic. Solid Gold Effects picked them back up and relaunched the brand.
Okay.
Put all their pedals in these more compact enclosures. And it's that classic Diamond Vibrato sound. This is like the pedal that made me fall in love with vibrato.
Oh.
Back in the day, I could never afford one, but I used to play with somebody that did have one. It was actually one that like their brother loaned them. And we were just in awe over like the quality. As like, I don't know, like 19, 20-year-old kids, like.
That's what you were talking to the nanny.
This was, yeah. No, as like 19 or 20-year-old kids, like this was like mind blowing. Like, oh, this is what professional level gear sounds like.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's got to be up there for me. And like I said at the beginning of this episode with my first pick.
Okay.
Or second pick, whatever one I was, the Yesterday Effects Vibrato.
Okay.
That one's cool. And it sounds amazing. But the Diamond has more functionality. Obviously, it has more knobs, so you're going to get more control over the vibrato. So that's going to be my... What are we on, number 4?
I think it's number 4.
Yeah, it's going to be my number 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, for my number 3,
yeah,
I do want to clarify this is my favorite pedal builder. It is.
Yeah.
Actually. But I cannot give you the number one. And I have my reasons why. But Summer School, that's my favorite one.
Yeah.
There's a lot to say about this, but the extra credit boost, one, I think it looks wonderful. The colors, it looks like it's pop now.
Do they still have the orange?
What?
Okay, you could still get it in orange, it looks like.
Get it in orange and yellow?
I don't know if the orange is still available. But the yellow is the standard.
Yeah, a standard yellow with black knobs and red LED, right?
Yeah.
And then the orange was a limited edition with orange with blue knobs.
Yeah.
But the extra credit runs on a standard 9-volt. That we talked about that before.
This one doesn't have. Okay, it is just 9-volt. It doesn't have the option to boost it up to 18.
Now this is hand built, dude.
Yeah.
So it's like they put the care on every single thing that they do. So I love that, though.
Yeah. And Mark has been really nice to us since launching this podcast. Since the first time we mentioned him on this, he even said recently, it was somewhere in one of the Facebook groups in a discussion post, he actually left his comment that was like, "Hey, really been digging the podcast." I was like, "Oh man, that means a lot to us. That we're not just reaching fellow players and musicians and pedal enthusiasts. We've had a few pedal builders actually reach out to us and share our posts on their stories about the episode releases and stuff, and that means everything to us that are just starting. I mean, we've been at this for 4 months now. I think we just entered the fourth month, but we're still just a brand new podcast for the most part. I mean, in relation to your 60 cycle hums and your tone jerks and dipped in tone, stuff like that, we don't exist compared to those.
Yeah.
So to be able to get any kind of recognition from the builders that we're talking about, that means everything.
But no, for real, again, this is my favorite pedal builder.
Is that because you were a teacher?
No, it's not just that though. It's the creativity, it's the name on the pedals.
Yeah.
I think he is hilarious, he's creative, it sounds good. I like it. I just like it in general though. Yeah. I like that they put the care on every single one of those pedals.
I showed you that one yesterday. He teased that tomorrow, or yesterday, I don't know why I said yesterday, earlier today, he teased that tomorrow there's some kind of limited run coming out. It's a dealer exclusive, I believe. And it's a fuzz. I don't know if it's just their pep rally fuzz or if it's a new one. But from the top third of the pedal that you can see in the picture that he teased, it looks really cool.
It looks cool.
The font looks really cool. It's almost like a copper color. It looked like the enclosure.
I don't know. I like that pedal builder.
Yeah, no, they're awesome.
I don't know if
Mark's
it's gonna
awesome.
be my second pedal builder or he's gonna move places.
But right now he's your number one.
But right now he's my number one.
All right.
Okay, you have 1 minute.
Give me 1 second.
You know what he did? Because I say he have 1 minute, he just stopped it and restarted it again, so he can have more time.
I don't understand about our lighting, which luckily for the people listening, they don't have to see this. We're orange again.
We are.
I don't know. I think it's because you moved that over there that we turned orange.
No, it's because I look orange. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
When you put white lining, I look like...
You look like a zombie.
I do.
You look like a ghost. You turn...
What? That's that not side really nice coming from you.
Well, no, I mean, for me, the whiter lights put so much glare on my glasses, but then for you, it turns you white.
I do. It turns me white. My skin color is white
pale.
to start with.
Super pale.
It turns you white.
I'll tell you what.
You're not being nice with me.
I'll tell you
look pale. Here,
that boy ain't right.
You're calling for a fight. Dude,
no.
There happens so many things. You stealing my pedals. You talking to the nanny. She hasn't even been hired.
She's not even the
talking
nanny.
To her.
Why are we calling her the nanny? You make it sound like we're rich people. You're like, the nanny.
No.
Tell the nanny to tell the butler to pull the groceries out. Tell the nanny to tell the butler to tell the driver to bring the car around.
What the fuck is that? Look, you've been doing so much shit that I'm gonna talk to you during this episode, and then we're not talking until next Friday. This is it.
I don't know if we're gonna do an episode next Friday.
We're not talking until next year
because we talked about that we might take the next week off the show.
Oh, we true.
While we'll just take a week to rest. But I have more videos coming out soon. This past week I did release the super.bass video. We talked about that earlier.
Yep.
But I've got 2 more that I have to work on.
Okay.
Which we'll get to that towards the end. We're talking about news at the end.
Okay.
But whose turn is it?
I don't remember.
Was that your number 3?
You were talking so much shit.
Was that your number 3? The summer school?
No, it's your turn.
Okay.
You still had 3. I don't know what you're going to talk about.
I feel bad because, like, people that listen and watch this show, they should know what my top 2 are going to be already.
They know you so well.
By now, if you've watched even like 2 or 3 episodes, like, you'll know.
Okay.
My number 3 is the Chroma console from Hologram.
Okay.
Now, this was on a lot of people's list this year. I think this was
Why?
on Andy Martin's list. I think it might have been.
Why?
I don't know. It's been on a lot of people's list.
I talked to you about this, saying that I didn't like it.
You didn't like it?
No.
You don't think this looks like an old, like, 90s computer?
It's not the way it looks. It is. I do love that it has a lot like going on.
Yeah.
But I do hate that as well. It's kind of a love-hate relationship because there's a lot going on. And in my mind, that doesn't go really well.
Okay, so
I don't know.
Everything I've seen about this pedal.
Okay.
Your character section gives you different drives, a sweetening function, fuzz, howl, swell.
Okay.
I really like the voicing on that stuff. Like, I think the drive and the fuzz, they sound really good.
Okay.
Now, movement, it gives you the doubler, it gives you that vibrato that I love. The tremolo in this thing is really cool. I don't really care for phasers, but even the phaser that's built into this thing, I think is really nice.
Okay.
The diffusion section on this, it gets you like these great, like, spacey ambient sounds. The collage feature, that's really like a unique sounding, just crazy modulated, like I would call it like a reverb and delay. And then your textures, that's like what really stands out to me, is there's like the broken and the cassette modes. I'm all about lo-fi stuff. I've recorded to tape just to get that like nice lo-fi saturation and like the degrading sound of the tape and even the warble. And this is a pedal that can give it to you. There are others on the market that give that to you, like the I think it's the Source Audio Artifact. I think that's who makes that one. That came out this year. I considered that one instead of this one, but I just don't know enough about that other pedal. But then, the classic one in that category is the Zvex Instant Lo-Fi Junkie. They just give you these really cool textures that sound like old vinyl or old cassette. I really love that sound. I think, to me, that is like my second favorite after vibrato. And oftentimes, that's associated with vibrato. It's vibrato with some like crackle and stuff to it. But I saw this was on a lot of people's list. Now, I put this on my list and I put it very high up. It's $400. And I think this is a pedal that, honestly, if I owned it, would have a lot of difficulty figuring out.
That's why I remember when we talk about it, say I didn't like it. Yeah. It's not that I don't like the way it looks, though. It's just, it's a lot going on for people like me.
Now, again, I don't think I would use every single one of the 20 effects that are built into this thing.
I mean,
but I would probably use at least half of them and use them on, like, I would probably find a purpose for this pedal on every single song I would ever write and record. I mean,
probably, though. And there's people for everything, you know? There's people who's gonna love this, and that's fine.
Now, this is like I wouldn't necessarily see this as like a pedal board friendly unit for myself. It would be a desktop thing that, like, when I'm recording, this is what gets layered on into the tracks. This is like when I'm reamping something. This is like a mastering and mixing tool that, like, goes into the final touches before the final mix. That's kind of how I feel about it.
Okay.
So that's why it's so high up on my list.
Okay.
So you're number 2?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're coming back to Mythos.
I don't even know what you have left. Oh, you put that high up on the list? Wow.
I like it.
All right.
I like Mythos pedals.
So what is it?
The Envy, or is it Envy?
Envy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Envy Pro Overdrive.
NV9.
And I think you wanted to steal that one from me.
No.
You didn't?
The one that I wanted was the Herculean Deluxe.
Oh, then now you're saying, you are admitting that you really did.
No.
You take it from me.
I swear you were talking about one of the Mjolnir pedals.
You just said it. And tomorrow when you're editing this video,
yeah,
I'm gonna get that clip. That little clip when you're saying,
when I'm editing,
no, the one that I really wanted was, I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna use it against you, because you talking from me. I'm just saying.
Okay.
But the Mythos pedal Envy.
Yes, the Mythos Envy, $179.
Dude, but there's so many things that I love.
Yes.
Is there a picture of the inside of the pedal?
Yes, and we will show that as well.
Yes, you should show that.
Because that's what you originally fell in love with the op amp. You could swap out the op amp.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I like about this one. Now, the dual op amps, right? That, I don't know. I just fell in love with the whole idea of that you can customize the whole thing from the inside of the pedal.
Well, not the whole thing.
I mean, what I'm talking about is the sound that you can change little things.
Yeah, the fact that it gives you some kind of modular functionality to it that you can make it your own.
The whole idea of Mythos, though, it looks beautiful on the inside.
Yeah.
I love that, though. It really, you have bought pedals in the past.
Yeah.
Though. That when you open the pedal,
I bought many pedals.
And we look at it. No, but this is for real, though. You can agree on that.
Yeah.
You open the pedals, because you do that with every single pedal.
I gotta see what it looks like.
And sometimes it looks like crap. Like the welding, it looks like all fucking melted on.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes it's like really poorly done.
It is.
Or it's just all these like really crappy, like,
and then I called you out, like, what is this so expensive? It looks awful on the inside. And with Mythos, though, you can see the care on every single one of the pedals.
Yeah.
The inside looks perfect. The sound is amazing. I just like it. Why are you laughing?
No, I agree. I mean, I think Mythos makes, we already talked about this, they make a great product. And the fact that, like, you know, it's not a super
That's why they're my number 2.
Big feature with the whole swapping out the op amps, because like it'll probably have a minimal overall sound.
But
if you get something where like it gives you just like a slight bit more clipping or a little bit more compression, or make something smooth out that like the original op amp, like the stock one doesn't do, then it helps you get that sound that you want.
But it's Zach said it himself. You can see that the dual op amps don't sound all that different. But if you want to experiment with different chips, you can do that with the Envy. That's what I like.
Like the slightest difference that they make might make it exactly what you're looking for.
Yeah.
So
that's what I like.
I will agree. So that was your number 2?
Yeah.
All right. What do I have left on it? Oh, I know what I've got. I don't know which one I'm gonna put where.
Oh, here we go again.
I actually didn't open up one of those.
Oh my god!
I actually didn't open up one of those 2 on the page here.
Okay, here we go again.
Okay. All right. So we already did Chroma Console. All right.
Okay.
This is a toss-up because I know this one.
Wait.
This one made a bunch of people's number 1.
Wait.
A lot of people.
Didn't I just talk about that?
Well, hold on. I'll get to it. Hold on. So
here's gonna be another fight.
I put a poll. Not even a poll. I didn't put a poll. I asked a question last week.
Here it comes.
Knowing that we were going to be doing this episode.
Okay.
In Pedal Boards of Doom. I said, what was everybody's brand new pedal release, like favorite top pedal release of 2024? This was the number 1 answer by a long shot. Now, I will say about 40% of the answers that I got were pedals that did not come out in 2024. People misread the question.
People lied.
Yeah, they either misread the question or they didn't know when these pedals came out.
But Andrew, this is too similar to mine.
Now, I did say this at the beginning. I did. If y'all want to go back and rewatch the very beginning when we started this list, I did say we tried to not have any crossover with our lists. except for this one pedal.
No, we didn't try. I wanted to make it all different.
And we also talked about this prior to. We talked about this prior to doing this. That we were not going to include any special edition or limited editions. And yet, yours made it through to your list.
Because it's amazing.
So, you picked the Keeley Octus.
Yeah.
But my number 2, which maybe should be my number 1, is the Keeley Octosi.
Of course.
Now, I can put this as
my whole list.
I can put this as my number 2.
Okay.
Because I've been using this pedal extensively. I've been working on a video for this pedal, which this pedal came out like 2 months ago now.
Okay.
So I'm not doing a demo. I'm just doing a video where I'm highlighting my favorite sounds, and I still really want to incorporate, we've talked about this before on this show, I really want to incorporate some way to record a full jam, where it's like drums running through the fuzz, bass running through the different pitch modes and fuzz, guitar doing like multiple tracks, even keyboards if I can. I have scrapped the video 2 or 3 times now and started over. But having done my other video more recently, I'm going to apply what I've learned with the camera stuff and just do a better video overall. So I'm not really in a rush to do the Octosi video because it's just going to be called like my top 4 settings or my top 5 settings or whatever. I don't know what I'm going to call it. But my favorite features. Because I'm not going to go through the whole pedal in my video. But because I've been using this pedal extensively, it's my number 2 because I actually surprised myself with this. I'm using the pitch modes more than I'm using the fuzz side. And I bought this to be a replacement big muff on my board because that's a rule I kind of have for myself is every time I take a big muff off, I have to put a different kind of big muff on. So this took the Boss Power Driver off my board, which was like the closest to a big muff I've used in the last couple years.
Okay.
So it kicked that one off. And now this is my big muff that I have on the board. Yeah. What?
This is so messed up.
You're still mad that I have the Octosi, but you also have the Octosi?
But I named it
That just shows how good it is.
No, I named it first.
You knew this was going to be on my list.
I didn't.
You knew it had to be.
He keeps doing this.
Anyway, so this is my number 2 because I'm using one side more than I'm using the other side. Like a lot more. A lot more.
If I used your number 1, you will be pissed.
No, I would agree that that's equally testimony that it's a good pedal.
Don't start acting.
Also,
like
you put the Octa as your number 10, wasn't it?
That's not true. My number 10 was Hello Kitty.
Okay, it was your number 9.
It was not my number 9.
It was your number -5.
Oh no, it was my number 9.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Number 9 with fries and a drink. So this is why it's my number 2 and not my number 1. Which maybe I'll kick myself for that later by not saying that, but whatever. What is your number 1?
You stole it, so
all right, let's go to your number 1.
Okay. So there's multiple reasons why that one is my number 1. But if you have been watching us, since episode 1, I have said over and over and over again to support your local business.
I don't remember you saying that.
Do what? What?
No, you say it like every time. Yeah.
The part of this
not just your local business, not just your local businesses, but the smaller independent builders.
It's so expensive to. We said it, and you said it before. We try it ourselves. Yeah. We try to start a business ourselves.
And it was hard to just get the startup.
It was hard to get everything though, because it's expensive. Your name is not out there. No one knows you. Yeah. So it's like just support the small shops, support the local ones.
It's like Justice Gash from Fuzz Imp Pedals.
Okay.
Fuzz Imp Effects, sorry. He started a pedal company in the pandemic and has outlasted so many other independent one-man operations that have come and gone in the last almost 5 years now, and is still going, and is still managing to hit an audience. He has one artist in particular, like Banana Labs on YouTube, who does these great YouTube like full song recordings and everything, like goes step by step on how he puts together songs, and he always uses the fuzz amp pedals, and I think that's like a huge endorsement for him, to have like somebody regularly just like using his pedals in videos and stuff. But like somebody like him, like he needs your business.
Yeah.
Like these small builders, they need your business.
Yeah.
Because like I want to see what Fuzz Imp is gonna do. Like I want to see where he'll be 5, 6 years from now, 10 years from now. Like, is he gonna be one of these big? Is he gonna be featured in Guitar Center and will you see him on Sweetwater? Like where will a company like that go? Because you can only go up. I mean, I hope for the best for companies like that. And that's just one example. I mean, there's so many.
Yeah.
But like,
but
that's somebody that I talk to. So I know, like, I know
getting
his
back to my number one,
struggles,
in our case, because we live in Arizona, I thought it was really important to put on my number one the LPD Loosen Boost.
Overdrive.
Now,
wait, is it a boost or an overdrive? Because he has it listed as the boost on the website.
Yeah, but the name is Loosen Overdrive.
Okay.
But I don't know.
It's confusing because I thought when we covered this the first time, it was listed as an overdrive, but maybe it's a typo on the website. But the
name, I don't know, because the name is LPD Loosen Boost 24th. I don't know, but it's the
updated version of the pedal for 2024.
Well, anyway, so basically the way they describe it is this is a tribute to the iconic Blues Breaker circuit.
Mm-hmm.
So really nice. Now, something that I was looking at before and that I really, really like about was that they added independent foot switchable boost. So one before and
one for the overdrive,
after.
one for the boost.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really important to mention. Again, they are from Mesa. They are local. Everything looks really nice. Everything looks really clean. They don't look like Rush,
Yeah.
I just like it. They are local. I think they should be number one.
I agree.
So, you agree, but you have another number one.
No, that was my number one too.
That was not your number one.
No, but I think that was a very strong number one. I would say like Lawrence Petros, he makes great overdrives, and he does some of the best like amp in a box sounding pedals out there.
Okay.
Which I'm saying that right before I name an amp in a box as my favorite pedal of the year.
Of course. Go ahead. What's your favorite pedal of the year?
And maybe it's just because it's so fresh with me.
Here we go.
But the tones I'm getting out of it it's the exact sound I've had in my head for years for how I wanted like guitar leads and stuff to sound. Now, I thought I had it with the JHS 5. I thought I had it.
Do you have a sound in your head?
Huh? Like a sound, like the tone that you want to sound like. Now, I've always played
like on an everyday basis.
No, just like when I picture my ideal guitar tone.
Okay.
Now,
sure.
I've always played like Fender guitars, Fender amps, Vox amps.
Okay.
But I've always appreciated like the lead sounds that like players like Jimmy Page.
Okay.
And like Jimi Hendrix and stuff, like the leads that they could get that I could never achieve solely with just Fender guitar, Fender amp, and whatever, like a blues driver. And so I thought I had it. I was very close with it with the JHS Violet. That's why I did that video on it, where I was like, I think this could be the perfect one.
But
$99 pedal from Keeley is what takes the number one for me. The super bass. It's a Marshall super bass in a box. I'm surprised by that. I mean, it makes me even rethink that, like, oh, maybe I should have been a Marshall amp guy this whole time. Maybe I overlooked it. The one Marshall amp I had in the past.
This is you asking for a Marshall amp.
No, the one Marshall amp I had in the past, I really didn't care for the way it sounded, like with clean tones.
Okay.
But like the kind of like really smooth, crunchy leads that you can get from this thing, like I don't know, it sounds almost like those Jimmy Page lead riffs. That's like the tonality of it. I don't know how to explain it exactly. It's just
law.
That's it.
That's it.
So the super bass, $99. this whole episode has been an endorsement for Keeley. No,
no,
we're not sponsored. We're not sponsored by anybody. We have no sponsors.
No.
We barely exist. But I don't know. That was my number one. I think your number one blows mine out of the water a little bit because you had a better story for why yours was number one. But
well, it's because I have been talking about this for a long time.
Yeah.
And I think it has to go. I told you, it has to meet the criteria. At least it has to meet my criteria.
Yeah.
It has to look
and that
good.
One hits all of them.
To be creative.
It looks professional. It's just
local.
A professional looking pedal.
We're here to support small shops and local business. So that's it.
Yeah. So coming up, we might be taking next week off.
Yeah.
And then coming back for the new year.
Okay.
In the meantime, I've got a couple videos I'm working on.
Okay.
So I'm redoing my Keeley Octosi video. It's probably going to come after this one, which hopefully that focuses on the pedal. I don't know if it is. For those that are listening and not watching, this is a Big Muff Nano that I was lucky enough to win in a JHS live stream. Josh Scott modded this live on his Short Circuit series. This is his traditional moon pie mod that they used to do back when they were still doing mods.
Okay.
So it has an extra knob added on the side here that is a gate, and then a 3-way toggle switch, which in this particular one, so there's your gate knob, 3-way toggles on that side, which is actually backwards, I think, from the way they used to do it.
Okay.
I think the knob was on the other side. He also swapped out the LED. He took out diodes 1 and 2. Diodes 3 and 4, he took those out and then wired those into the 3-way switch. And I can't remember. I'll have to go back and watch his video. You guys should watch his video. Because I'll have to use that video as like a manual on how to use this thing. So he put some kind of new old stock germanium diodes on one side of the switch. The middle is no diodes. At which point the pedal is functioning with absolutely 0 diodes, which is actually the mod I used to do on this exact pedal. I used to take out all 4 diodes, and I really like the crazy sound. It gives you this huge open sound. So that's the middle position. And I think top might be, I might have this backwards. Top might be the germanium. Bottom might be regular Big Muff. So this is a one-of-a-kind pedal that Josh modded. I'm really glad to be able to have this. So I'm going to do a video on this, like a full breakdown of all the different tones you can get out of this thing. So I think this will be the next video, then the Octosi, and then we'll just see where we go from there with the new year.
And then you're going to change our mind in 5 minutes after we're done with the episode. And you're going to be like, no, this should be the number 1 video, and then the number 2, and the number 3.
And then there'll be another pedal that comes along, and that one derails the whole thing.
Oh, wow.
We'll see.
The order is going to change.
Yeah. But for the new year, we're hoping to just, keep the podcast going.
Yeah.
Do more content aside from the podcast, pedal videos. And like I said, I don't want them to be demos. I want it to be more of an exploration of equipment and how I use it. And, even Kat's journey through, she wants to build that charcuterie pedal board that we talked about a couple weeks ago.
That's a mission of mine.
Like, we'll source out the stuff to do that.
People might think that I was being funny, but no. That's like...
Yeah.
I'm focused on it though.
No, we'll source out the stuff and price it out, and I'm sure throughout the year or whatever.
That's like a mission of mine.
Even if we get on Reverb and buy some like cheap used pedals that are food themed for your charcuterie board.
Yeah.
So I think that's what we've got coming up in the next.
Do it yourself kind of thing, like pedals. Make a pedal board and paint it myself. I don't know. That's a mission of mine, but I can do that.
Yeah. Oh, you could build the pedals and then paint each one to be a type of food?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that works too. Yeah.
Why not?
But yeah, thanks for checking us out this week. If you like the video, please subscribe. That always helps us out to know we're, finding an audience of some kind. Which we really do appreciate those of you that have checked us out every week and left us nice comments or even hateful comments. Just anything helps.
Hi, everything is fine.
Yeah, any feedback is good feedback.
Yeah.
We are on Instagram, Bad Guitars Podcast. We are now on Threads, which I don't know anything about that. I'm just saying the most unhinged stuff on there I possibly can to people till we get kicked off.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway,
I guess that's it.
Have a great holiday, everybody. Happy New Year if you don't see us before then. And we'll catch you sometime soon.
Bye.